Hello and welcome back to another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be drawing distortion. I wrote that kind of small. But for distortion, I'm going to be drawing an eye and distorting it. I have no idea what I'm doing today. I don't know if I should probably make this straight. I don't know if distortion exactly is, but we're going to pretend like this is distortion. Just for the sake of me having an idea of what I'm drawing today. So first, we need to get a rough shape for an eye. I haven't drawn a realistic eye in quite a while. I guess I could do an anime eye, but I feel like that's a little bit of cheating. If I were to do that, then I would want to do colors. I do have a pen over here, but that's 4 colors, and 2 of them are really close to each other. Anyways, what we're doing is distortion. So we are going to be kind of melting the eye, basically. Like the pupil of the eye is going to drip. So's wherever else. I don't know. But, yeah. I'm gonna erase that because what even really was that? I drew it too dark in the first place to actually continue using. We could probably sharpen our pencil, considering it's not that sharp at the moment. But I don't really care. We're just gonna go ahead and get into drawing this. There's still paint on my hand. That doesn't matter, but it annoys me. So we just won't look at our hands. Right here is going to be where the drippiness is. So we'll go ahead and get that in after I draw the eye, if that makes sense. After I draw the shape of the eye, then we'll go ahead and do it correctly. That looks wrong, so we're actually going to do this bottom. I'm very good at talking. I said do it correctly. I meant to say once I finish the eye, I will draw the drippiness. Because I want the base of the eye done first before I draw the little drippy part. Alright, that's not perfect, but I think it's fine. It could be a little more angled, I think. I think that actually did pretty well in fixing that. Alright, so here, why is this line all wonky? It's because whenever I lean down right there, whenever I draw right here and lean over this way, the light goes in my eyes. That's probably why. Anyways, why'd I drop the pencil? I guess I didn't drop it, I threw it, but now we need to drip the eye. I guess we should probably also draw the pupil and the eyeball first to get the general shape down. Alright, then we'll add the color sphere. Yeah, we don't need a perfectly drawn one or a perfectly done one yet. Then we'll add where the pupil will go. We could probably make that a little bit smaller. Right now this kind of looks like an owl. I think it's because of how I just did the eye, but we'll just disregard that. And we'll go ahead and try and get this to look correctly. There we go. Drippy drip that. And do this. There we go. I hope this counts as distortion. I think it does. I did not look at the definition like I normally do when I have no idea what the hell I'm going to draw. But I've used the word distortion before, probably. So this probably counts as distortion. I actually like doing these little Inktober challenges every day. Makes me actually have to think about what the hell I'm gonna draw instead of just mindlessly scrolling through Pinterest until something finally jogs my like, ooh, I should draw that. Because I draw every day. I almost never know what to draw. Ah, shit, I was gonna draw Yoda. That doesn't matter. I just gotta remember to draw that later. Because I do need to draw that. I need to draw multiple things because I have told people, oh yeah, I'll draw that. And then I didn't draw it. So I still need to draw a lot of things. All right. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and add a little bit of the pupil, kinda. Like, there we go. We'll pull that shit in there. Pull that shit over there. And like that. And then we could actually thin this up right here as if it's getting pulled down. All right. Now my hair's on the fucking screen, but that's fine. Okay. Now this isn't perfect. It's not terrible. So we're obviously going to keep it. We're going to fix that line. Make it a little more rounder-ish. Could be a little better, could be worse, so we'll keep it. What are we supposed to do about, other things like the fucking rest of the eye? I don't know. We're just going to go ahead and start shading. I have forgotten how to shade an eye, I now remember. That does not matter. I think we have to do this line right here, which is the eyelid line. And then we're going to kind of just add a bunch of shading and pretend like we know what we're actually doing. I think around the lines we're supposed to make it darker because I think it gets lighter out of where the other areas are. Alright, let's actually, before we do any shading, let's actually think about what the hell we're doing. Because I should actually think about this. I was earlier just talking about I do like actually thinking about what I have to draw instead of just grabbing a random thing. I like this better, so let's go ahead and think. Alright, so, first of all, this is both the eyelids areas. We probably don't need this one as back as far. We'll add the eyelashes after we shade, but okay, so we're gonna shade darker near this little bit of the eye because, your eyelid has thickness to it, and right there it would probably be darker, and then right here it'll be darker and then get lighter. I don't know why I'm trying to really explain this when I don't know the words to explain this. So first things first, let's go ahead and do very light shading of pretty much the entire thing. I was also feeling my eye while I was explaining that, by the way, trying to remember what an eye is shaped like. Because I'm not using any references for this. I probably should have grabbed a reference, but, I'm not. I'm mainly more worried about the inside of the eye for the no reference part of this. Because I feel like I can shade this enough, good enough to get by on it looking like, yep, that was shaded alright. Just like, yeah, that was shaded all right. It was not perfect, not terrible. I feel like I can get that. But the inside of the eye color type of shading, I really don't know if I can get that. I can use my pens, which I am going to draw with my pens after this. But I don't know if I want to. I really do like drawing with pens because then it pretty much removes the me trying to make everything as perfect as I can type of aspect, because I do that. I try to make everything as perfect as I can. I don't do it as much in my videos, more just when I'm drawing myself. And for practice, you know, that's not the best for practice. You shouldn't be trying to make everything as perfect as possible. You should be trying, well, I mean, it depends on the type of practice you're doing, but for the type of practice that I usually do, which is like quick drawings and try to get down the forms and shit, that's what I'm trying to practice right now, is more forms and just drawing things fast, like hands and shit like that. Trying to make everything perfect messes that up. It doesn't make it as effective because you're not practicing as much as you could be. You're getting caught up in the details when you didn't need to. Which is also nothing. I don't have anything else to say. I really don't have much else to say until I'm done shading this, so, what am I supposed to talk about? Should I explain my story? My story? Should I talk about my story? No? Because I don't know what I would even talk about? I could talk about Banana Man. I'm making a Banana Man costume. Yeah, I've never actually made a costume before. Technically, the making of the costume is just me buying clothes and then making a papier-mâché pumpkin mask. But I've never done papier-mâché either. It's not hard, but that shit's time-consuming. I've got 2 days, not counting today, until Halloween. And I've still got to paint the pumpkin. So I've got really tomorrow to finish the entire thing. I also need to stuff it, because right now when I put my head in it, my head just kind of flops around in it and it doesn't stay up. So it's fun though. I like making my own little costume. Never done it before. I always just wore like the least bit of costume I physically could, because I like to go for the most amount of candy possible. I will accept nothing less than the most amount of candy possible. But yeah, next year, I don't know if I'll go trick-or-treating next year, but I am going to make another costume next year. And I plan on doing it ahead of time. It's going to be of Banana Man again. But it's going to have to be ahead of time because I'm actually going to have to make some of the clothing. Or at least, like, customize other pieces of clothing. Like, I don't know how to make gloves or anything like that, but he's got a special pair of gloves that are important to the character, which he doesn't have at the time of, like, what the costume that I'm making right now. This is when he's first introduced to the costume I'm making. He doesn't have it at that time, the gloves. But he does have it, like, right after, and then he will have them in every single other costume or every single other outfit he will have for the rest of the series. Because the gloves are important. So, it's going to be important for me to make those next year. Although I don't know how to do that. Although I like the idea of making clothes. Kind of want to try it. Making, like, cosplays or something. I wouldn't actually want to cosplay myself, though. But I think making clothes seems kind of cool. Anyways, we're done with the shading. Is that perfect? Not really. But it's fine. It's distorted, he says. I didn't have an extra part to that. My hand is actually not that covered in lead. I am quite surprised. Usually it's always covered in lead. Probably because it's got paint on it. This one actually has paint, not this one. Anyways, what are we doing? First, we should darken this because, well, why not just color this in right now? I don't really see too much reason not to. We'll go ahead and just color this in. Jesus Christ, I didn't know how to talk. Color that in. Just get it colored in. Color it in. And there we go. Alright. There's that. And there's the pupil. There's the droopy pupil. Damn it. I just did remember. Shining exists. Like, highlights do exist. That's not exactly how I wanted to do that. I kind of wanted the highlight down here, actually. So I can actually do this. Color that in. Okay, let's color this in. And where else could we add a shine? Like right there. Yep, okay. That's fine. Not perfect, but it's fine. Now, how does the color? Should we look up a picture of an eye? Probably. Am I going to? I'm at 17 minutes. No, I don't need to. If I was at like a lot of time in this video, I would, but I'm not. So that means I can do whatever the fuck I want. What is the fuck I want? I'm gonna color the eye in like this. Yeah, that's right. I'm just gonna fucking go like this. I don't know if this is going to look 100% correct, but I don't care. We've got to draw it some distorted too. I am realizing I don't know how I'm going to do that perfectly, but that's fine. We'll just continue drawing lines and pretending like we know what we're doing. Because if you pretend like you know what you're doing long enough, maybe you'll figure out what the hell you're doing. Right? That's probably true. It's true in this sense. Alright. There we go. Now let's try to shade near this a little more. There we go. There we go. There we go. Perfect-ish. Perfect-ish. Perfect. Okay. That's not perfect, but it's not terrible. I'm gonna shade the entire thing, kind of, just to make sure that it's fully colored. There is also one thing we need to add. Some veins. I have quite a few veins in my eyes because, I don't know, are they because of like lack of sleep, or your eyes just, or eyes just like always veining? I couldn't tell you. Mine's probably because of sleepy, though. Alright. There we go. Perfect. Good enough. Isn't she beautiful? She's wonderful, isn't she? It's beautiful. I love it. Beautiful. I don't know what else to do. This is distortion. Yeah, it's a distorted eye. I threw my pencil and I don't quite know where it went, so this is the end. I can't even add my signature. Yes, I can. It's not like I add my signature to the majority of my drawings anyways. I always forget. There we go. There's the signature. There's the drawing. I signed it. Oh, bye-bye.